In this battle for worldviews, the opposition to Christianity must keep creation out of the classroom and see to it that only evolution is taught. Therefore, whenever anyone wants to include creation in the classroom, what do you hear? Oh, we can't have that. Evolution is science. Creation is religion. We can't have religion in the classroom. After all, separation, church and state. The humanist groups are consistently pushing for separation of church and state. But do they really want religion out of the classroom? Judging from Dunphy's quote, no. It's just a big smokescreen hiding their true agenda. Humanists just want Christianity out and their religion in. We are certainly in a battle of beliefs. It seems this group doesn't even want students to be given the slightest hint that there might be evidence for a creator. You are frequently told that evolution is science, while creation is religion. Don't fall for it. Both are philosophies of how we got here on planet Earth. At the core, one says there must have been a supernatural cause. The other says no supernatural cause was needed. Of course, some people mix the two worldviews. We'll talk about that later. However, please note, this is not a battle between science and religion, as we are continually hammered into believing. It is a battle of worldviews, of philosophies. It is true that no one was around to see God create, so we have to take that by faith. However, no one was around to see the Big Bang or all the millions of years of evolution take place either. Hence, it too requires faith to believe, and thus is also a religious concept. Therefore, the statement, creation is religion while evolution is science, is just plain false. Science is based on observation and evidence. Yet listen to what Richard Dawkins, a prominent supporter of evolution, says when asked, what is the evidence for human evolution? His reply was, we don't need evidence. We know it to be true. That statement certainly reveals Dawkins' religious faith, doesn't it? Nobel Prize scientist George Wald clearly indicates his religious bias toward naturalism and against God. He says, there are only two possible explanations as to how life arose: spontaneous generation arising to evolution, or a supernatural creative act of God. There is no other possibility. Then he says, spontaneous generation was scientifically disproved 120 years ago by Louis Pasteur and others. But that leaves us with only one other possibility, that life came as a supernatural act of creation of God. But I can't accept that philosophy because I do not want to believe in God. Therefore, I choose to believe in that which is scientifically impossible, spontaneous generation leading to evolution. Wald apparently was totally committed to his religious persuasion in spite of the evidence against naturalism. Unfortunately, his thinking set the stage for what is today being taught in schools all around the country. I think this quote explains how two very good scientists can look at the very same evidence and come up with completely different interpretations. One favoring evolution and the other one giving honor and glory to our Creator God. They are both viewing the very same data, the same rocks, the same microscope slide, but reaching opposite conclusions. It shows the struggle is not with the data, but with the interpretation of that data. Don't forget, that interpretation is dictated by worldviews, what people are or are not willing to accept. The sad thing is that only the naturalistic evolutionary religious view is taught in schools across this country and around the world. And it's not just in schools. Magazines, TV, museums, zoos, national parks, they're all promoting evolution. It is hard for a person not growing up in a church to hear a different worldview.